If you're in search of some quick, easy lunch recipes with wholesome ingredients that won't break the bank, you're in luck. I'm Whitney from Sweet Cayenne, and I'm going to show you 3 simple lunches that all use a common ingredient, a tortilla wrap. We're going to make my 5-ingredient tuna melt wraps, Mediterranean veggie tostadas, and an almond butter banana chimichanga. You're going to need a whole grain tortilla for all of these recipes, so try to choose one that's high in fiber and protein because it's going to help you feel full and satisfied. First up, the 5-ingredient tuna melt wrap. I love this one because of its hot, melty interior and its golden brown, crispy exterior. For this tuna wrap, it makes a single serving, but you can make as many as you want. And you're going to start off with a wedge of Swiss Laughing Cow cheese, or any cheese that's nice and spreadable. So you're going to open that up and plop it on the tortilla, and then just spread it out all over the tortilla, but you want to leave a border around the edges. So I started making these tuna wraps about 8 years ago when Ryan and I were first married. We were both really busy with our jobs, and a lot of times you just need like a quick, fast recipe to make for dinner or lunch, and this is a perfect one. We always feel so satisfied when we eat it, and I love the fact that it's hot and like golden and crispy. So after you spread out your cheese, you're just going to add a little bit of Dijon mustard to the cheese. Then you'll just spread the Dijon right over the cheese. And then the star ingredient is tuna can in olive oil. I like to buy this one because it's the way they sell it in Italy. And the olive oil is a good healthy fat, and it adds a nice texture to the tuna. So depending on how big your wrap is, you may be able to fit a whole can of tuna in there, or it may be just like part of it, which is fine because you can make another wrap to use up the rest of your tuna. So then the last ingredient is olive tapenade, and this is just a store-bought olive tapenade. It's one of my favorite condiments when I want to add quick, easy flavor to a wrap or a salad. And you'll just put a couple of teaspoons on there, and then we're just going to fold it up burrito style and try and tuck all the filling in tightly as we are rolling it. And there we go, just like that. So we're gonna head over to the oven and crisp it up in a skillet. Okay, I've got a small non-stick skillet heating over medium-low, and I'm just gonna add a drizzle of olive oil, and that's what's gonna crisp up the exterior of our wrap. When the oil has heated for about 10-15 seconds, you'll add your wrap to the pan. We're just gonna let it hang out there for about a minute before we flip it over and crisp it up on all sides. While this is hot and crispy, we're just going to slice it on the diagonal, and it's ready to enjoy. It's hot and melty on the inside, and I like to serve these either with some sweet potato fries on the side, a side salad, or some fruit, whatever you have on hand. And now it's time to give it a taste. The flavor of the olive tapenade really complements the tuna because it was packed in olive oil. And it's just hot and super satisfying, but that didn't take any time at all. Okay, now for our second recipe, Mediterranean veggie tostadas. These are a great way to pack a little extra color in your meal. So we're gonna bake this tortilla in an oven that's heated to 375 for 7 to 8 minutes to get it golden brown and crispy. And while that's baking, I'm gonna cook up a bag of this Bird's Eye Power Blend quinoa and spinach. I love to keep these frozen veggie packs on hand because they're a good way to add protein and vegetables to whatever I'm making at the same time. So you got options to cook this in a pot on the stovetop or in the microwave. So I'm going to heat it up and we'll come right back. Our tortilla wrap is nice and crispy, just like a tostada. Let me put this over here. And I got the quinoa, spinach, red pepper blend all cooked up. It's nice and hot and steamy. And we're gonna assemble this now. So I like to spread hummus on top of my crispy tortilla. And what we're doing right here is just layering different textures. So we've got a crispy tortilla, creamy, cool hummus, and then we're gonna put those hot, steamy vegetables on top. And at this point, you probably wanna put it on whatever plate you plan to serve it on. So plop it on there. And then you'll take your veggie blend, lots of fiber, color, protein in here, and then just spoon that on top of the hummus. And for such an easy lunch or dinner, it's looking really pretty. Like this looks like something we get at a fancy, healthy restaurant. And then we're just going to put a little bit of fresh lettuce on top. Any blend would be great. You could do spring mix or arugula, baby spinach. I've just got some butter lettuce that I'm gonna put on the very, very top for color and crunch and freshness. And the very last step is to add a little bit of your favorite vinaigrette. So I've just made a simple mustard white wine vinaigrette here. And I'm gonna shake it up just to make sure that it's well incorporated and just drizzle a little bit right on top of the lettuce. This Mediterranean veggie tostada takes very little time to make. It's fresh, flavorful, crunchy, and I'm gonna dig in. So this is kind of like eating a salad. You're like eating a salad on a crispy tortilla, but because of the hummus and the quinoa high protein veggie blend, it's gonna make you really full and satisfied. My husband Ryan can eat 2 of these and he feels really full. You can eat it like a chip or eat it with your fork, but I'm gonna do it like a chip because it's less messy. So much flavor in here from all the ingredients that we layered up, and it feels kind of fancy. So let's move on to recipe number 3. Last recipe, we're gonna go old school with a classic combo of bananas and peanut butter. This banana nut butter chimichanga makes a great breakfast, snack, or an easy lunch for kids. So we're gonna start out with our whole grain wrap, and I typically make this with almond butter, but today I'm changing it up and using peanut butter. And you're just gonna spread the peanut butter over the tortilla like we did the Laughing Cow cheese, just leaving about an inch border on the outside. And I even like to make these for a healthy dessert sometimes when I have a sweet tooth, and I'll do something kind of indulgent and use Nutella and banana, and it's so good. And then next we're gonna add on jam, and I am using my special homemade strawberry jam, and if you want this recipe, we'll link it right up here. So you just want to put jam on about half of the peanut butter area. Of course you can add more if you really like jam, but what's nice about using a homemade jam is it's lower in sugar. I'm going to use a banana. You want about a medium-sized banana, and we're going to slice the ends off and then peel it and cut it in thirds. And this will make it easier to fold our chimichanga. So I cut it in thirds, and I actually think we're just going to use 2/3 of the banana so we can roll it up burrito style like we did with the tuna melt wrap. So you want to fold the ends in first over the banana, then the top goes up and over, tuck everything in with your fingers, and roll. So we're ready to cook this in a hot skillet. Let's go over here. So I've got my skillet heating over medium-low heat with a little bit of butter melting in the bottom. And I'm using butter because that just pairs better with the flavor of the banana than olive oil would. But if you want to use a vegan butter like Earth Balance or coconut oil, if you don't mind the flavor of that, that would be fine. And just like the tuna melt wrap, we're going to crisp this in the skillet for about a minute or 2 on each side until it's golden brown and the banana is hot inside and the jam and peanut butter are all gooey and melty. So our chimichanga is golden brown and crispy all over, and it's ready to eat. You want to serve this while it's piping hot. So just cut it really carefully, and you'll see that inside the peanut butter, whoo, it's hot, is melted and the jam is all gooey. And we are going to plate it up and take a bite. Okay, here we go. Oh, hot. Wow. Everything is so molten and melted together inside, and it just tastes incredible. This could totally pass for a healthy dessert or a kid-friendly lunch. So we've got that one, our tuna melt wrap, our Mediterranean veggie tostada, and there you have it. I hope you guys found this helpful, whether you're a busy parent trying to feed kids or you're like me and just looking for some fast, healthy lunch recipes. If you like this video, I'd love it if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, check out this playlist over here for more healthy lunch recipes, and I'll see you in the next video. Bag of this bird's eye power for Bird's Eye Power Blend Veggie Blend.